There is something happening inside your wall right now. You cannot see it. You cannot hear it. But that mud nest on your garage wall, under your eaves, pressed against the underside of your porch, you noticed it weeks ago, maybe months. And every time you walked past it, the same thought: I need to scrape that off. But you never did. That small, rough, ugly little tube is full of spiders, paralyzed, motionless, unable to move, but still alive, still breathing. Something found them, something stung them, carried them, and sealed them inside, one by one. And that something is still there, inside your wall, working. Today, I am going to open that nest with you. And once you see what is inside it, you will never reach for a spatula again. Let's start with the prey. Because in this story, the prey is not just any spider. The prey is the most dangerous spider in North America. The black widow, Latrodectus mactens. Black, glossy, identified by the red hourglass on its abdomen, carrying venom that is gram for gram more toxic than a rattlesnake's, and living somewhere you will never think to look. That is the critical part. The black widow is invisible. The corner of your garage, the gap behind your wall, the space under your eaves, the old box you haven't moved in years, with webbing underneath it you never noticed. It saw you before you ever saw it. Every year, thousands of black widow bites are reported across the United States. And the one thing almost all of them have in common is this: the person never saw the spider, you wouldn't. The black widow lives in the dark. It lives in the narrow spaces. It lives in the exact places inside your home that you cannot access, cannot inspect, and cannot treat. And when it reproduces, and it does, a single female can produce 400 offspring from one egg sac. 400 from one spider inside your walls without you knowing. So ask yourself this: who is controlling that population? Who knows exactly where they are? Who can actually reach them? Now let's talk about the hunter. That mud nest belongs to a mud dauber, a solitary wasp that builds alone, hunts alone, and raises its young alone. No colony, no queen, no swarm, just one wasp doing one job. And that job is hunting spiders, not just any spider. When researchers began analyzing the contents of mud dauber nests, what they found stopped them. The Blue Mud Dauber, Calibion californicum, shows a documented consistent preference for one prey above all others: black widows. In studies conducted across multiple states, some nests were found to contain almost exclusively black widow specimen, which means that mud structure on your wall is, in the most literal sense, a black widow storage facility. But stop there, because storage is the wrong word. What's inside those tubes is not dead, and that is exactly where this story gets extraordinary. When a mud dauber locates a black widow, and she is extraordinarily good at finding them, she knows exactly where to look. She delivers a sting, but this is not a killing sting. This is something far more precise. The venom is injected directly into the spider's nervous system. The result is not death, it is paralysis. The black widow cannot move, but its metabolism continues. Its tissues stay fresh for weeks. The mud dauber then takes that paralyzed, living, motionless black widow and carries it back to the mud nest. She pushes it inside the tube. She lays a single egg on top of it, and she seals the chamber shut. When the larva hatches, it finds a fresh meal waiting. A black widow paralyzed weeks ago, perfectly preserved in the dark. Then the mud dauber moves on. She builds the next tube, finds the next black widow, paralyzes it, seals it, tube by tube, spider by spider, black widow by black widow. This process may be happening inside your wall right now, behind the surface, in complete silence. Now, let me tell you what falls out when someone opens an old abandoned mud dauber nest. Small brown spiders, large orb weavers, and sometimes black widows. Red markings still vivid, bodies still in the exact position they were in when the venom hit them. Perfectly preserved, perfectly arranged, inside your wall. This is an archive, a sealed record of the spider population living in the cracks and corners of your home, collected, paralyzed, and stored by a wasp. You don't know how many spiders are living in your walls right now or exactly where they are. But she did. She found every one of them. And you were about to scrape her nest off the wall. Let me show you what happened every time you destroyed one of those nests. The larvae inside died. The next generation of mud daubers never emerged. And the black widows those larvae would have consumed, unparalyzed, unsealed, completely free, kept living in the same corners of your wall. They kept reproducing in the dark corner of your garage, under the box you haven't moved in years, in the ceiling gap you haven't looked at since you moved in. Destroying a mud dauber nest does not mean you stopped controlling your black widow population. It means you destroyed the system that was controlling it. No spray reaches the places she reaches. No trap finds what she finds. No pest control professional can work with the precision, the consistency, or the access that she has. She gets to where the black widows live. You do not. So what do you actually do? First, identify the nest. An active nest has a mud dauber coming and going, carrying mud, carrying spiders, building. Leave it completely alone. She will finish within a season, seal the last tube, and move on. She will not return to the same nest. She will not expand indefinitely. She simply moves to a new location and starts again. An abandoned nest, dry, sealed, no movement, can stay exactly where it is. Empty tubes provide overwintering habitat for other beneficial insects. Or, if the location is genuinely problematic, it can be removed in late autumn once you are certain no larvae remain inside. If you want to encourage mud daubers to nest somewhere more convenient, the approach is simple. They prefer moist soil and open surfaces near a water source. Create those conditions in a less disruptive location, and she will find it. But never destroy an active nest. It is not a problem. It is the solution to a problem you didn't fully know you had. That mud nest has been on your wall for weeks, maybe months, and every time you saw it, you thought the same thing. I need to clean that up. What you learned today is this. It was already cleaning up for you. Black widow by black widow, one by one, in complete silence. Inside your wall. Do you have a mud dauber nest on your property right now? Or have you ever opened one and seen what was inside? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to discover another hunter working inside your walls, something operating in the dark while you sleep, the next video is already waiting for you.